So your Steam name, okay.
Yeah, my Steam name. I identify more with my Steam name than my real life name.
Khalil would at least let me go through the intro.
Yo, Discord mods be like... Yo, Discord mods just be like, my name is Rainbow Star underscore 6986. 86 is at the end because that's when I was born, 1986. So, yeah. Continue.
Just gonna start this one over. Hi, my name is George. This is James, and we'll be reading Daredevil, Guardian Devil, written by Kevin Smith with art by Joe Quesada. This was around the 2000s era. Back when this is around like when Marvel was like trying to pull itself out of bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
During the time like the Clone Saga, they were like they were in a pit. They were in the shits.
Yeah, they were hemorrhaging money.
Like the only things that saved Marvel were selling off their characters for movie licenses and actually writing good stories.
Mm.
One of their ideas was, okay, Joe Quesada, who was editor-in-chief at the time, was like, okay, we need new names for these books. Something that could really, like names that can really come up with new ideas and do things that are outside of the realm of what we normally do for our heroes during this time. And in that birthed the Marvel Knights imprint, which housed characters like Daredevil, Punisher, I think Moon Knight had a Marvel Knights imprint, and Spider-Man. And so Joe Quesada's idea was like, okay, let's bring in a lot of like indie names. So let's bring in like people like Brian Michael Bendis, Mark Millar, who wrote, who was actually writing for Spider-Man in Marvel Knights at the time. Let's bring him in. Let's bring in J. Michael Straczynski, who wrote for Babylon 5, and let's bring in Kevin Smith, because I also have a bit of a small movie connection with Kevin Smith.
Mm.
And so that's where we have this. And in the opening, we have this introduction for by Ben Affleck, who, I think this is around the time where the movie was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Was it around like 2001, 2002?
I believe 2000.
I say maybe
3.
Yeah, okay,
2003.
Around the 2000s.
Yeah, 2001 was Pearl Harbor, so these movies couldn't possibly come out in the same year. That'd be too much Ben Affleck. There'd be Ben Affleck's saturation of the market.
Oversaturated with Ben Affleck. But it cuts to a letter by from Karen Page to Matt. It was basically just telling you, like, okay, we need to take a break. Because I need to know if our relationship is going to work or not. I don't know if we actually just love each other or if we're just so damaged that we need each other and we're just like piggybacking off of each other. And while this is going on, a maternity ward sets fire by two shadowy figures whom we don't know.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah.
And also violent.
Very violent. But it cuts to this woman, and she's carrying a baby, and she's, like, running from people.
Yeah, running with the baby in her arms, which is irresponsible, but then again, she's also being chased by someone, so...
Yeah. And while this is happening, we see somebody is at a confessional. And basically he's talking about, like, my girlfriend, like 6 months ago, my girlfriend left me. And it's slowly revealed that the person that is having their confessions, like, giving their confession to the priest is Matt. And as he's, like, because he hears the heartbeat of the person that's carrying, of the lady that's carrying the baby. And he starts to leave, and the priest is just still talking. And it's like, oh, yeah, we feel these pangs of Catholic guilt. you know how they feel, son. Son. And then we get again just this beautiful splash. I absolutely love it.
Beautiful. Like I love it.
It's like if John Woo were writing for a Marvel film. God. Well, ain't this something? Face off.
Yo, when he funny. What the hell was John Woo trying to say? Like, is John Travolta Jesus Christ? I'm guessing it has maybe something to do about resurrection. Maybe. Like, Nick Cage became John Travolta and John Travolta became Nick Cage. So now that Nick Cage, who's John Travolta, fucking killed John Travolta, who's
Nick Cage. I don't know, but
wait. Wouldn't it be Nick Cage wouldn't John Travolta, who's actually Nick Cage, be shooting the harpoon at Nick Cage, who's John Travolta?
No, okay, because so John Travolta's character in Face Off took Nick Cage's face.
Yeah. His face off.
Yeah. And then Nick Cage, coming out of his coma, took John Travolta's face. So
his face became off, yes.
Yes. So it is John Travolta who became Nick Cage, and Nick Cage who became John Travolta.
Yeah. And so Nick Cage as...
So anyway,
okay, great. That's great. I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, yes.
So Matt jumps on this car that's chasing this woman with a baby, and he breaks through the windshield and rips like smashes the guy against it. So it's always like one for emotion, just bam. And Matt is like looking around to see where the woman was, and she's gone. And the police are looking around like what the fuck happened? And so we cut to Matt, and he's at his office. Excuse me, and he's like trying to like get over this breakup between him and Karen. And he's like thinking, I just need to take my mind off. Who can I call? Maybe Natasha. Yeah, she's probably doing some Shield shit. I don't really know. And then Foggy walks into the room. He's like, okay, thank God, Foggy, Saved by the Bell. And so he's talking with Foggy, who is with a woman named Lydia McKenzie.
Yeah, he looks like Gilderoy Lockhart.
Foggy does, or the woman?
Foggy. Foggy, well, he got the blonde hair. Oh, wait.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
Gilderoy. All right.
Oh, goddamn.
Specifically, I'm talking about the movie version, not the Star Kid version.
Yes.
Who is also amazing, but, Anyways, let's get back to Daredevil.
Yeah, and so, again, this is during a time where Foggy was dating Liz Allen, who is the widow to Harry Osborn, who died when he was the Green Goblin, and they had a kid named Normie. I believe it is just... I think it's a nickname, but... Again, all the times I've read Spider-Man comics where Normie is in it, they always call him Normie. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just short for Norman, but it's stupid.
Yeah,
And hold on,
Normie.
Lydia says something. I think it's I can't tell if it's a receptionist or Lydia, but one of them says, he has those photos you requested of you and Miss Page from the Goodwill Hunting premiere. God damn.
Yeah, this was definitely made when Daredevil was being made or released.
Yeah. And so,
Lydia, more like chlamydia! Alright.
And Matt hears the heartbeat of the girl and the baby again. And so he goes out as Daredevil to try and find it. And all this, well, at the same time, he's like mulling over his relationship with Karen.
Mm.
And then he finds her. Oh, sorry, I think sorry, no, it's okay. No, I'm sorry, I misinterpreted this. No. Okay. This will be explained later.
Okay.
But just know some religious shit is going on.
Oh shoot. We're bringing religion into
Religion
in my Marvel comic?
Religion
No.
into a story about a man who is a Catholic?
Bro, he really Fozzie really looks like Gilderoy in this one panel. For the viewers at home, it's the one where he says,
like,
"I sometimes feel like standing."
I sometimes feel like he's standing on me.
Yeah, he really looks like Gilderoy.
Meaning God.
Yeah.
And so...
Why does her and the baby have the same face?
Well, it'd actually be revealed.
Okay, all right. Now you got me.
Okay, so Matt hears the heartbeat of the woman, and he opens the door, and she sees she's standing there at the office, and she's like, "Hi, my name is Kim, and this is my child, and I need to talk to you because I'm a virgin. I never had sex with anybody."
Same.
But,
I sound so disappointed when I say that.
But this baby is mine. Like, this is my child. And I'm a Catholic. So this may be our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Bro, he's holding Jesus Christ right there.
He's holding baby Jesus. Also, yeah, she knows he's Daredevil.
Oh, how does she know?
Because somebody told him.
Told her?
Yeah, somebody told her.
Who?
It'll be explained later. But basically she's like, I can't take care of this baby. I'm too young to take care of this baby. You're Daredevil. You're a superhero. You could take care of this baby. And Matt Murdock's like, hold it, and she's gone. And she's gone. You just get this image.
Okay, wow. All right.
And I love this.
That's a panel right there.
Yeah, and I love this little I love this little panel. Not this panel. I love this text box. This is at 5:26 p.m. The Savior was left in the devil's care. And I just like that line so much. It's really good. And so now we cut to Matt Murdock at the home of Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Matt and Natasha have a history. She used to be,
They used to date, right?
They used to date, and she used to show up a lot in Daredevil comics. I think she is more of a namestay in those than she really is an Avenger. And he's basically just talking with Natasha, like, do you think I can leave the baby with you for a bit while I can go be Daredevil? And she's like, no. No. And I like to see little Howard the Duck doll on the table.
Why the hell would Natasha Romanoff have a?
I think this is Matt's house.
Oh, this
is Matt's apartment.
Oh well, why the hell would he have?
Because he's trying to take care of a baby, and also he's blind, so it's funnier.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, well, they are both. Well, Matt Murdock's a lawyer, right?
Yes, he's a lawyer.
Yeah. At first, I thought he was a detective. At first, I was just like, "Oh wow, okay, I see what's going on here." But no.
Yeah, no, he's just a lawyer.
Yeah, a lawyer. Anyways, continue.
And so yeah, it's basically just like, okay. I need to go be Daredevil for a bit, so I'm just gonna leave the baby with you. And Natasha's like, no, you're not. Okay, no, listen. I'm gonna leave the baby with you. I need to go be Daredevil for a bit. I'll be gone. I won't be gone for too long. I'll be back. And she goes, good God, I was an Avenger. And she's holding the baby. And so we cut to Matt, and he's talking with this man named Nicholas McCobbs. And Nicholas is like basically telling like, so you have the child. And Matt is like, yes, are you social services? He's like, not really. What I am, sir, is an angel. And the baby you have is no Jesus. No, what you have is the Antichrist. You have the harbinger of the end of time in your care, sir. And we want you to give us the baby so that we can kill it. And he's basically just talking about like God's implementation into everything in the Marvel universe. Is like, oh well, you see, this has always been somewhat of God's interventions in life. You know, the gamma bomb that created your friend the Hulk, and or the spider that bit Peter Parker to make him Spider-Man, and or the chemicals that blinded you to make you Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that will upheave your life. And so Matt is just basically just given this like choice of, do I give the baby to them, or do I save the Antichrist?
Gosh, if gods exist in Marvel, why didn't they intervene during the Clone Saga? So that they could have made a better fucking arc.
Because, okay. God is sort of a mystery thing in the Marvel universe.
It was mainly rhetorical. I wasn't looking for an answer.
But that's also a logical question because God is a character in the Marvel universe, kind of.
Yeah.
He's the one above all, but and Foggy talks about like Foggy's like with Matt. He's like, hey, so I'm gonna take my client out because we're gonna discuss over the case. Is it okay if I borrow the company card? He's like, take it. And so he goes out to be Daredevil, and he's just going out just like beating up a thug who tried to mug him for his money. And then we see that the young woman is grabbed. Sorry, the young girl is grabbed by somebody in a car. And Matt is on a rooftop, and Natasha shows up with the baby. He's like, hey, yeah, I'm not gonna let you leave this baby with me. Like, this baby reminds me of Tony when he was still getting tipsy. And I'm not ready to handle that again. Like I have to confess though, all of this stirred up my maternal instincts. Like, for the first time in my life, I can hear my biological clock ticking. And Mac just goes, ignore it. It's a dark world. No place for a child. And Daenerys like, okay. Yeah, okay, fine. And Natasha's like, okay, fine. Well, maybe I could get this, like, can we talk about your costume? Because it's kind of bad. Like, maybe I could get Dazzler to help you, and, like, Matt goes, Natasha, give me the baby. And the Daredevil throws the baby off the roof.
Oh, okay.
And Natasha quickly grabs for the baby. And Matt's like, oh, God damn it, Natasha. And she rightly says, are you insane?
I mean, that's a very legitimate question after throwing a baby off a building.
Now, she yeah, and it really is. And she trips over Matt and puts her arm to his throat. He's like, "Yeah, 10 seconds, or I will snap your neck." And Mac just, the kid is the Antichrist. And she just starts laughing. He just starts laughing at him like, you are in no mental condition to be anywhere near this baby, Matt. I'm gone. I'll hold on to the baby, guardian devil. And so Foggy is with his client, and so Foggy and his client fuck.
Oh, Gilderoy getting some booty.
Yeah, from his client.
Some hoo-ha. Have you ever heard that as a euphemism for sex? Ooh-ha! Hoo-ha!
But Karen comes back, and she's crying. And Matt asks Karen what's wrong. She says, "I have AIDS."
Ah! Okay.
So not only does Matt have to deal with the Antichrist, but now he may also have AIDS.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay. 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 Yeah. He might have AIDS. Yeah. That's
and Matt says when this happens, when it rains it pours, and we cut to Foggy being questioned by Matt as they're in a Foggy was arrested by the police for killing the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Foggy's like explaining what happened. He's like, "Okay, Matt, you're not gonna believe this, but I may have fucked a demon." And Matt is like, "Go on." And so he's basically just like telling him like, "Okay, after we had sex, things got weird. Like she started changing. You can see she started like turn into like this like spawn like demon.
Mm-hmm.
Then she jumps out of a window and kills herself. And by the time she did that, she turned back into a human, and so it made everyone think that Foggy pushed her out a window and killed her. Also, one guy down here looks like animated like series Lex Luthor.
Yeah. I was about to say, it looks like Lex Luthor.
And that's about it. But yeah, it's basically so Foggy is in the shits. The mystery person that Matt talked to earlier goes to Karen. And oh shit. And they have an exchange. And then Foggy's mother, who runs the law firm that Murdoch and Foggy are working at, she's basically saying, "Okay, you can't defend Foggy. You can't. Like, he's my son, I know, but he's a fuck up. Like, when I hired him and you, I mostly wanted you. So if you defend my son, that's it for the both of you." And then Mac just goes, "Then I quit." And he leaves. So Daredevil's doing his thing. He's going around the city and he's just beating down on thugs. And Karen is talking with this man. He's basically telling her, just like, "No, Miss Page, your boyfriend, it seems a lot of the things that are happening into his life and the situation happening with you, it seems to be happening because the Antichrist is still alive. And so we know that Matthew's nature won't allow him to kill the child, so why don't you kill the child?
Ooh.
And she goes, no. And Matt is just like going through all like his like interpersonal demons. And he's just like trying to like fight this like inner conflict between himself, like, do I kill the baby? But no, but Catholics, that'd be murder and that'd be not good. But this is the Antichrist, but this is still a child. And so he's just having like this conversation between him and what he believes the devil is.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically, hey, where's my shit? Where's my child? Hey, Mr. Murdoch, where's my baby? And it's revealed that he is actually, like, beating down on somebody, but they are fighting back. And he leaves. And we don't know if that was reality or not for Matt.
Oof.
But the next thing we see is Matt in front of a truck. He's about to get hit by the truck.
But he's Daredevil, so he's going to be fine.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
you're Daredevil, you know? You're
Yeah, no,
Daredevil.
he's
You're
fine.
going to be fine.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. And
Don't worry about it.
And we cut back to Matt and Natasha on the roof. And Natasha tells him, didn't your mother ever tell you not to play in traffic? And we see on her back she has a bassinet for the baby. Like, on her back. A small carrier for the baby. And they're basically just having this conversation like, okay, I know you love her, but shit is going completely in strange directions, dude. You kind of need to think this through. And I was like, middle of recording. Do I just need to redo all of this again?
No,
Should we do this at another time?
No, this is great. I love this. It's amazing. Your narration is amazing. It makes me thirsty. I love it. Keep going.
And she's basically saying, like, look, do you have any enemies? Like, beyond just being Daredevil, do you, Matt Murdock, have any enemies? And Maggie goes, the only enemy it would seem that I have is riding shotgun on your back. And Tasha's like, okay, you know what, fucking goddamn it, Matt. Just keep out of this. Matt, you're clearly going crazy. Just stay away from me and the baby.
Yeah, her maternal instincts are really acting up now.
And Matt and Natasha have a small fight. And Matt grabs the baby and jumps off the roof with the baby.
Okay.
The two start swinging around the city. And they land at a church where Matt and his mother meet. Now, this isn't the first time that Matt and his mother have met. In a Frank Miller story called Daredevil Born Again, Daredevil after having like the worst day of his entire life, like in that story it basically sums up to before Matt Murdock could even finish his cup of coffee, his entire life is ruined in a second. And it's during that time, like, I think Matt fought a villain, he was like just critically injured, and then he goes to a nun takes him in and heals him, and it's revealed to be his mother.
Very coincidental that she happened to be right next to them falling,
Well,
though.
well, he landed there. They're just at the church, and so this organization that's been around that wants the baby, this evil organization, is like, so Mr. Gabriel, what do we do? Like, we can't find the baby. The woman's dead. We don't know where the baby is. What do we do? Like, call an assassin. And so Matt is speaking with his mother. He's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what I should do with the baby or not. And his mother's like, you know, you're direct like your father was. You need to calm down. And he's like, calm down. You fucking tell me. I'll tell you. You want me to calm? I'm calm. I'm fucking calm. Shit. And she slaps him across the face.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And so the two just have just this conversation where it's very open about like them. But like you left Dad and I alone to become a nun. Like you abandoned us. Like what do we do? Like I did what I had to, man. Like I did what I thought was best like for me and for you. And look at you now. Like, look at what you've become. Like, I'm always sorry that when I entered the coven, I would miss the simple joy of telling my child stories. But the story I'm telling you now is about a knight and a monk. And so she tells him the story, and we cut to Karen, and she's at the same church. And they're basically just having like this conversation, like, Matt, where's the baby? Like, upstairs? Why? So we can kill the baby. And Matt's like, what? I'm actually on team no killing baby this time, but I'm on team killing baby. Wait, Karen, how do you know about the baby? Oh, the guy told me. The guy told you about the baby. And so now you're just on team killing baby because the guy told you to kill the baby. Well, you're on team kill the baby before. Like, what's going... Like, no, I'm done with team kill the baby. And so... the movies have, like, this conversation, like... And Matt just, like, lays into Karen. He's like, you have AIDS because you're a junkie.
Oh.
Karen, you're a junkie who was with God only knows how many, who and how many people. You're careless. Your carelessness destroyed your life, Karen.
Ooh,
Not some demon child. You. If anybody's here, if anybody wants to blame anybody, you should be blaming you. You're the one to blame. For yourself. And she runs out, and this guy is like talking with this assassin. And it's the guy from before. He's like talking with this assassin. It's like, yeah, if you give me the baby, we'll give you $5 million. Now, how does that sound? And the guy flicks a paperclip into this guy's wine glass and breaks it, and it bounces off his chair into a book. He closes it, it's Catcher in the Rye, and it's Bullseye. It's like, yeah, okay, we have a deal. And it's like more of Matt just like prophesizing about like what's going on with like his life, about this choice he has to make with his baby. And we see he's at the home of Dr. Stephen Strange. And it's like, hey, so Stephen, do you have like any spells that could summon, demons that could, help me with this situation? And Stephen Strange's like, oh, well, you see, yeah, I do. Okay, I can help you out with this. And so, Stephen Strange and Matt, well, they're about to like summon this baby, summon this demon, and Karen's just like having just all of this hit her like a ton of bricks. Like she's just trying to assess everything, and it's in the same letter styling as the letter she wrote to Matt in the beginning about her leaving. It's like, look, I need you more than ever, but you need me just as much. And so we got to Doctor Strange and Daredevil summoning Mephisto. And they're basically just like, oh, god damn it, who summoned me? Oh, it's you.
Of course it's you.
Of course it's you, Stephen. Okay, what do you want? They're like, oh, heed my word, Mephisto. Is the child that is on Earth the Antichrist? Is it Christ himself? And he's like, no. If Jesus would come back, he'd come back as a man. It's not the baby. The baby is not Jesus. Well, is it the Antichrist? It's like, no. No, look, okay. I know somebody else is with you, Stephen. I can smell them. I can smell that they're blind, and I know who it is, and I find it hilarious. I find it absolutely hilarious. Look, I know what's going on with you in particular, Mr. Daredevil. And I know everything that's going on, but I think what you should focus on more is what's happening with your mother right now. And Matt gets out of there, and he sees that the church has just been attacked. People are dead, except for his mother. And there's my cat.
That is your cat.
That is my cat. You can hold the book for a second?
Yep. And she is getting...
And down you go, Missy.
She's very comfortable.
Yes, she is. And Matt hears singing in the church, and Bullseye throws a shuriken, but it's a shuriken that has a cross on it, and the cat jumped up again.
Again, okay. Well, she's about... Okay, yeah, she's not leaving.
Okay, I have a plan. Here, hold the book.
Well, I mean, well, then again, she's actually not in the shot.
Well, she's not in the shot, but she's still interrupting. Do you think we should try this another time, or do you want to keep going? Because I may have to edit a lot of this out.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Bill O'Reilly. Remember Bill O'Reilly?
Okay, yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
But, okay. So we get this really weird bit where like Bullseye is like they're having this fight and Bullseye starts throwing his teeth at Matt, like he's like pulling them out and throwing them at him to try and hit Daredevil with it. And it's just fucking weird because I've never seen him do that shit before. I've never seen him do something like that before. So it's just weird. And so the two are just fighting. And Karen grabs the baby. And Karen distracts. Karen is like, okay, you let him go, and I'll give you the baby. It's like, okay. And Daredevil's like, no, don't. And Bullseye hits him with his billy club, knocks him out again.
Hmm.
Okay. I'll give you the baby, and I'll just get out of your hair. And then as taking the baby, he sees that it's not the actual baby. It's like one of like those little like statues of a child that is supposed to be of Jesus during the birth of Christ.
Yeah, and it looks all cracked in the panel as well. Yeah.
It's I think it's some of his blood because he's bleeding from the nose, so it's dripping down onto the statue. And so he throws the statue at Karen's head. And then Karen grabs a gun, and Bullseye's just like, go ahead, do it. Fucking do it. I bet you won't. Come on. Come on, do it. Nah, I knew you wouldn't do it. Hey, Matt, remember remember Elektra? Matt's like, oh, no. Hey, Red, I forgot to give you back your club. And so he starts throwing the club, and he's supposed to hit Daredevil, but Karen gets in the way. And it kills her.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the comic where Karen dies. And also, that's it. Bullseye's not in the book anymore after this. That was it. Like, he shows up, fights Daredevil, kills Karen, leaves.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Is there like some sort of time skip after that though?
No.
Oh, so it takes place literally immediately after?
Yep. Actually, I think it's about like a couple days. I think it's like a day after.
Oh, okay.
And so we get Kingpin's reading the Daily Bugle. He just touche, my friend. And Matt is in his room, and he's loading up the gun. He's putting it to his head. And he's like, "No, I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta go save the baby."
Yeah, he's been reading. He's been listening to too much XXX Tentacion, dude. That's all there is.
Too much X. Too much fucking.
Listening too much Triple X. Too much Juice World. Can't take back the love that I gave you, and you know.
Well, basically, they're having like Matt's like remembering the last conversation you had with Karen before the breakup, and he's like just destroying everything in his room. Like he's just furious. And so Matt puts on his costume like, okay, that's it. I'm ending this shit. And the guy is like, and the guy that asked for Matt to kill the baby was like, he'll be coming soon. Prepare the gauntlet. And so Matt is going on a war path. He grabs a guy who knows information about who took the baby. He's like dangling him over a roof, like from Batman and Batman Begins with the guy. He's like, tell me where the baby is, and I promise to not kill you. Just give me a name. Any name, Turk. And he's like, okay, I don't know his name. Some old dude. Look, he has a building at 387th Park Avenue, South. That's all I know, man. And he sees Daredevil's gone, and he hung his leg up to a bent-off pipe. So he's just dangling there. He's like, look, how about you and I team up like old times? Like, Matt. He's already gone like the goddamn priest.
Yep.
And so Daredevil is just making a warpath. He's like going through like hand ninjas.
I'm sure he's very. Oh, I'm sure he's not putting
Oh
up with
yeah,
any of that
none
now.
of it, none of it. He's beating down hand ninjas. He's going through like he presses a button. And it's just hell. So he goes. So it takes him down to hell. And he's
It's
like,
very convenient that they're just a button.
a very convenient hell button.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going down. And he's seeing like Karen's like taunting him, like, "Help me! Why didn't you save me? Help me!" But he's not taking this. And then the devil that he was talking to in like that sequence from earlier is helping Matt fight off all of these other guys. He's just like killing them. Like this devil dude is like killing them dead. And it's fucking crazy. But then it turns out that the devil guy was just a guy in a suit. He wasn't an actual devil. It was just a guy in a suit with electronics on him. And gas pours out of him. And it is revealed that the man that has been messing with Daredevil
Wait.
is Mysterio.
Oh.
Master of Illusions.
Wow.
Mysterio.
Okay. That. I was about to say, when I saw, immediately when you turned the page and I saw that costume, I was just like, oh my god, that's Mysterio.
It's Mysterio. Master of Illusions. And so he's like, so yes, it is I, Mysterio. Now, I want you to know, you are a very inconvenient and unexpected guest, but you've certainly paid the price of admission. And so, he's like, Mysterio's just like just flourishing and apologizing to Matt. He's like, listen here, Mr. Murdoch, so I could tell you how and Matt just starts beating the hell out of Mysterio. He starts beating the living shit out of him. Like, I'm done. Like, the only thing I care about is killing you. He's like, oh, no, the child, don't forget the child. And he's like, if you want to stay alive, you'll tell me where the child is. And he's like, I can't tell you that just yet. But if you play along, you'll know by the end where it is. Like, from the moment you smashed into my sanctum, the child has like 20 minutes left to live. So you should not be wasting any more time. And so Daredevil's like, fuck it. Okay, fine. How did this all happen? And so Mysterio is just like telling him all like how everything went down. Like the Immaculate Conception, it wasn't immaculate. I drugged a woman and then had semen implanted into her. Not rape, but
that is very, very close to rape.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortably
it
close
very is,
to
but
it.
it's not direct. But basically, like he's like saying like, look, I got sick of Spider-Man kicking my shit all the time, and then I started coughing, and the doctors told me that I had a tumor, and that I'm dying. And so I knew that these are my last days. That I, Quentin Beck, am dying. So, here it is. I went to somebody who had information on you. Now, you're probably wondering, why wasn't I fighting Spider-Man again? And it turns out he was going through some shit with a clone, and I was like, I'm not even going to touch that.
Oh, wow.
And the thing
That's actually great.
And
I love that they did that.
Yeah. And the thing is, Daredevil is like, you and me, you were like me. Like, you were a second stinger to everyone else's game. And so, I said I said to investigate the man behind the mask. And so I went to Kingpin. And I asked him, and so I asked him about my idea. It's like, okay, speak quickly. I don't want to be seen with you. It's like, just talk. I don't want anyone to know we're associating right now. You're kind of embarrassing at this point, Quentin. What do you need? He's like, look, it's my money that I'm wasting all of this on. I don't need any of yours. I just need the information you have on Daredevil. And King was like, what do you need that for? He's like, oh, I have a plan that will drive Matt Murdock completely insane. It was an idea that I knew would appeal to him because he hates you so much. And he gave me all the information I needed for $1 million. That's all I needed, was just 1 million to set everything in motion. So I started killing and building as many as I could. That woman, let's say I slipped a Mickey into Miss Nelson's drink. And no, Lydia was an assistant of mine. She was expendable. As for, that old man you were talking to, let's say I took care of him a long time ago to try to get this identity down. It's just everything I had planned was just so perfect to mess with you. And, your little girlfriend's, whole HIV thing, I think she should have gotten a second opinion on that one. It's supposed, if what this means is that, okay, what this means is that Mysterio made it seem as though her HIV positive results were falsified. So it's possible she never had HIV to begin with.
Oh, wow, that's fucked up. Just make her think that she has HIV.
And made Daredevil think he also has it.
Jesus Christ.
And Mysterio says, well, at the end it doesn't really matter. The only doctor she's going to be seeing now was the coroner.
Okay, after hearing that, how the hell does Matt
The baby.
not... Well, no, wait.
He doesn't know Mysterio knows where the baby is.
No, I mean, after saying something like that, to fucking Matt Murdock, who literally was holding her as she died, I'm surprised that didn't cause him to snap.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, I mean, again, he needs the information. He needs to know where the baby is because he only has, a couple minutes now.
True.
So, he has to resolve himself, yes. And so Mysterio grabs a gun that one of the people that was trying to kill Murdoch has, and he starts just killing everyone else. He's like, this isn't audience participation. I advise you, Mr. Murdoch, to remember the welfare of the child. And so Matt just okay, fuck this. You want to know about secrets? You were nothing. You've been rambling on about how clever you are. It's like the hum of a battery. You know what I see when I see you, Mysterio? You're a hackneyed failure. You're nobody. You're fucking Mysterio. I am Daredevil. I'm Daredevil, and you're nothing to me. And so it's so tell me where the baby is, or so help me God, I will kill you. And Mysterio goes, kill me. That's why I brought you here. Just kill me. And Matt just tossed him aside. Like, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction. Like, you think you can break me? Like, you're a joke. You're a fraud. Now give me the baby and let's just end this. Like, how could this be? Like, I nearly drove you insane. Like, you drugged me and killed people. There's no talent in that, dude. Like, but the dystopian nightmares. Like, are you seriously going to tell me that your B material Antichrist coming into the world bullshit was going to break me? Like, you're a human Xerox test, dude. At best. So where's the baby? And Mysterio's just like, she's over there. And then, like, Matt grabs the baby. And Quentin pulls out a gun and he's like, okay, fuck this. No. Fuck this. I'm killing you.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? No. You know who's going to get more satisfaction out of this? It's going to be me. And Daredevil's like, why is that? Because I stole this last trick from Kraven, and he shoots himself in the head and kills himself. Daredevil goes par for the course. And then he leaves. And so he meets up with Spider-Man. Well, first, it's cutting to... What does that look like?
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely not a coincidence.
Yeah, no. Marvel and DC have always done this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they are... Like, Peter's talking with MJ, and he's like, hey, Peter, you ready for the funeral? Like, yeah. This is... Mysterio, I just didn't think he'd die. I just didn't think he'd just die like that. And Mary Jane goes, just don't mourn for Mysterio, mourn for someone who deserves it. And they're at the funeral of Karen Page, and you see all the little, like, Marvel characters that show up. Like, there's the Thing, there's
Stanley.
That's Stan Lee. Stan Lee, even in his own comics, is getting his cameo.
Wait a minute, is that who I...
That's Foggy's mom. I think that's the Power Pack.
Who's the guy in the back, though? This guy. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it may be part of the Power Pack. I don't know off the top of my head, though. I think I'd ask Khalil. He may know.
Okay, I'm about to say, he looks more like somehow a Star Wars shoot. With that helmet.
And so Matt tries to give a eulogy for Karen. He goes like, Karen was... No. There are no words. He just leaves the podium and just says, I'll miss you, and then leaves. And so Peter and Matt are talking. He's like, hey, so can we talk about some things, Matt? Like, oh yeah, sure, what? Like, just tomorrow night sound good? No, the usual place, say like, again, 9 o'clock? Yeah, sure, I'll try to make it. So he gets a note, and so it later cuts to Matt, and he gets a note from Karen, and it's basically just like, I love you, Matt. Like, I've always loved you. I can never stop. Like, you were everything to me. Like, you've always had your eye on me, and I've always had my eye on you. Consider what I have for you as a bonus for everything. And it cuts to Foggy, and he's getting released from jail. And before that, he gets visited by Liz Allen, who again was his girlfriend at the time. Is like, "Hey, Liz," is like, "So is it true? Is what true? Did you sleep with that woman, Foggy? For fuck's sakes!" It's like,
yes.
and it's just like, "I thought so," and then hung up. And then Foggy's like, "Liz, no, I'm sorry, no, sorry." And like, and Liz just goes, Tears and sorrow, welcome to my world, Franklin." And then she leaves. And so Spider-Man and Daredevil meet up at a rooftop. And Spider-Man goes, "Care for your little company?" Like, Daredevil goes, "No offense, Pete, but the company I'd really care for won't be showing up tonight. Or ever." And Spider-Man goes, I'm sorry, Matt. I know what you're going through. So, Quentin Beck's dead. What happened there? And he's like, "Oh, it was nothing. Just ignore that." Like, okay, all right. Well, look, I know what you're going through. I lost somebody too, a long time ago, and we see that he is remembering the day that Gwen Stacy died.
Mm-hmm.
If you see in the silhouette of the moon is Goblin in his glider.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that. And so it's like, look, you lose people in this job. But remember, you saved that little girl, Matt. You saved that baby. I want you to think about that. And so Matt goes to the house of Natasha Romanoff, and she knocks on the door, and she goes, "Tony?" And immediately when she sees Matt, she punches him across the face. And he starts, like, choking him. He's like, "Okay, talk before I sever your vocal cords." And he goes, "Mysterio, that was you." Yes. And so he's like, "Okay, I'll accept that. Get the fuck out of my house." Well, she lets him into the house anyway.
Yeah.
And the two talk.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. And the two talk. It's basically just like, okay, look, at the end of the day, you have peace. You have people who are there for you. Like, I'm there, your friends are there. You need to stop being such a sad jackass, okay? Got it, Red? And it cuts to the next day. And it turns out that the thing that Karen was talking about, like the bonus, was health insurance. Like, she had life insurance put out on her. And she left all of it to Matt and Foggy. And it was just enough to help them rebuild Nelson and Murdoch law firm. I think I might have... Nope. That always skip. And we cut to, like, the very last parts of the book where Matt is just, like, talking, like he's checking on the baby, a woman's talking with him. It's like, "Oh, how's it really... Are you father?" It's like, "No, I just know the woman whose baby this belonged to." It's like, "Oh, that's nice." Like, would you happen to, like... I guess we could tell the adoptive parents that they have a name for her. Like, I think I should name her. And it turns out the woman he's talking to is his mother. It says, like, "So what name are you thinking, Matt?" Like, "Karen. Her name is Karen." And so we cut to Matt, and he's back in confessions. He's like, it's been a month or two since my last confession. Like, how do you feel? And the priest is like, how do you feel? Like, I feel as though I've remembered something I long forgot. And then he hears a child that's trapped in a burning building. He says, I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry, Father, I gotta go. He's like, excuse me? Where'd you go? And Matt's gone, and it gets this very last page.
Oh, that's beautiful artwork.
It really is. This is Joe Quesada at his best.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love. I love a lot of this art that's in this book. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. And we get an afterword with Kevin Smith, and he's just talking about, like, you know, writing this story and, like, writing most of the Marvel Knights lines of books for Daredevil, and yeah, this is a Daredevil, Guardian Devil.
Wow, that was really good.
Yeah,
I really like that.
there's a lot of good bits in this book. I personally think this, and it's how I put my favorite Daredevil comics is this. End of Days, this, and Born Again, and a lot of comic fans will say, "Oh, no, Born Again's the best." I'm not saying it isn't the best. I'm just saying when it comes to my favorite Daredevil comics, those three are my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I would list them. This has a lot of good things in here. Some stuff that I think is a bit off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mostly when it came to Mysterio, because I never really thought of him being the inseminate a girl.
Yeah.
To prophesize a end of days thing. Like, I never really thought of him to do something like that.
Yeah, Mysterio also doesn't really seem like the type to just, you know.
Well, I mean, this is Mysterio who has cancer.
Oh, he has cancer? Did it say anything?
Yeah, he had a tumor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was dying. Mentioned. Did you see how he looked?
Yeah, it was mentioned in that. For a split second, I forgot, but yeah,
tubes
that's
in
true.
His nose. He probably has a pee bag somewhere. I don't know where, but he probably does. But yeah, this is just a really good story.
Yeah, I really liked it too. Just to put my final thoughts in there, I really like this story. When it was first mentioned by you that they were going to be centered on religion and stuff like that, I was intrigued, but I was also somewhat nervous because, you know, it's kind of hard, from my point of view, it's kind of hard to, like, tell a story featuring characters that we all know, like Daredevil, include religion in there, and make a plot that still makes sense in a way. And I will give this comic credit. It did that job very well. Like, it felt like a Marvel comic. It didn't really feel like, you know, I guess, what's the word? Preachy? I don't know. It feels like a Marvel comic still. You know, it's not all about the religion and stuff like that. And, mind if I have this?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Just so I have, you know, I love Gilderoy Lockhart in this. He's fucking great. I love the shout out to the Harry Potter series. Anyways, another thing, of course, the artwork. I think the artwork is fantastic in this. I'm guessing you say Joe Quesada did most of it?
He did all the art for this.
Oh, he did all the art.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing the other two are more like for story.
Palmatoy, he did the inks.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Smith did the writing, Quesada did the art, and Palomiti did the inks for it, like all the colors that you see on the page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I really like the artwork overall. You know, it was very nice. None of it looked like awkward or anything like that. You know.
There's a lot of images you don't really get to see a whole lot in the story. Like when I've never seen Mephisto look like that before.
Yeah, this is a very different Mephisto from the one I'm thinking of.
Like the one I think is the one I'd see from like One More Day.
The one, I mean,
the man looking one.
Yeah.
Not like this giant red beast looking thing.
Yeah.
That again looks like a Spawn character.
Yeah, like this Mephisto, like he has, a super long tongue.
Yeah, it's just...
doesn't even have like eyes or anything like that.
I think it's a spell that that Strange casts on to like make him not see Daredevil there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not supposed to know that Daredevil was there, but anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely like I love this. Like for example, I love this one shot where you can see where it looks like Stephen Strange is like so freaking big.
Yeah.
Especially with the cape and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. I love that effect.
It's absolutely amazing, and that's the thing. Like about like religion with Daredevil. Like religion has always been a focal point of Daredevil's character. It's never always been the most tackled thing. Like he is a Catholic, but that is sort of just like a character point about him. And it's not really a whole lot about his character. Like it's like everything about his character. Like it's just like a pinpoint. The rest of it is that he is Daredevil. He is Matt Murdock. And he is the guardian of Hell's Kitchen. But
yeah, like even stuff that you think would seem boring is like done with beautiful artwork. Like the scene with the baby right here. All he's doing is just holding the baby.
But you get just this addition of people surrounding that, and then you have the silhouette of Daredevil of the Daredevil costume in the background, and it's just it just looks so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Daredevil Guardian Devil. Again, you can pick this up where any retailers are sold, mostly comic stores and or online. I'll put a link in the description where you can get this book. This is George. This has been my friend James. We'll see you next time.